Good day, traders. This is Rich with some price action on the weekend, looking at 4:25 p.m. December 12th, 2020, Saturday, looking at a couple trades from the week. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video, and comment on the video. Today, I just want to go over these two trades from the week that were pretty important. One being a big winner, and one I'm trying to work on really hard to become better at. And I think you might learn something from it. And I know I've watched this several times, and it's a little bit grueling. It's a little bit stomach turning, but it's something that happens a lot. This particular trade, it just was the most recent one. Now it's an IPO, so it's not as fluid. It's not as perfect of a trader because it's only been open for 5 hours or something like that. So, or 3 hours, I don't even know. And it's not necessarily going to give you exactly what I'm looking for, but it will show you the gist of what I'm looking for. So let's go get into it. This video might run a little long because the videos are long, but I just want to make sure it's clear, and it might help you guys out, and I think it's going to help in the future for trading. So the idea here is I'm looking at an IPO. I missed the trade earlier in the IPO breakout of 31 here. After it pulled down, I was going to take back through 31 and take this huge move up. IPOs tend to do that. But in this case, I missed that one. And later in the day, I was watching it kind of drag back up. It made this high here. I can't press the button and give you a price, but it's almost 36.50. This is close to 36.30. And then as it's coming up to 36.50, that was my entry point. So the goal here is to get in at 36.50. I'm looking at the blue line here as my stop. So we're at the point is 35.76, and it's a little bit tight. It's a little bit tight for where I'm going to trade with, the size I'm going to trade with. So I reduced my share size from 300. Like I really wanted to go to 400, but I reduced it from 300 down to 200. Knowing that it's an IPO, and the IPOs this whole week have been massive, and they have a tendency to make moves later in the day. And in this case, it was 3 o'clock in the afternoon. This was the perfect time where I was looking for it to attempt the high. Now, the ideal spot, the original spot I liked was 37. So let's watch what happens here, and I'll get it going. My entry is 36.50. I have it slated here, and you'll see what happens. Now, I know this thing is not just going to rip to 37 or above. I know I'm going to deal with some pain possibly. Yeah, I mean, there's a good chance it could just rip and go to 37. So I get a little bit in my favor. We're just going to watch it drag out here a little bit. And 50 here, I jumped in a little early. Didn't take out the 50 quite yet, but it does. And I felt comfortable with it taking out the 50, and there it goes. I'm getting an alert here on that. And it made it up to 60, but as you can watch it happens, it kind of just stalls there at that 60. There's a seller there, and it kind of pulls back. Now I'm starting to get a little worried that it's going to get stuck. It starts to get a little spready, right? We got 37 to 60. We got 20 cent spreads. My position is 36.45. But at the same time, I know it's going to need some time to really work itself out. It took out the 50 seller. I jumped in a little early, but then it refreshed a little bit with a little 50 seller coming back in. There's 4,700 shares at 36.50. So I'm starting to get a little concerned, but I'm still comfortable that the stock is going to go up. Unfortunately, things go the wrong way. So I'm going to fast forward a little bit. And as you can see, price starts to fade. Watch the bids drop off here. There's support at 636. But that's 45 cents against me. Again, I'm only in for 200 shares. Usually my risk is 150 a trade, depending on what's happening. And here it just drops off at 36. And here I start to get, okay, this is the point I want to discuss. Do I give it the room that it needs on a pullback before it makes its continuation move? And in this case, I said yes. it needs room. It needs to go down to that level I was discussing, that 35.75 area. That's not an exact point where I'm setting a stop. I'm looking to set a stop here. You can see me put on the key on the matrix here on 75, that if it comes down here, I'm going to bounce out. But I'm not just going to bounce out and get out. You know what I mean? I just want to make sure it's going to continue its fall, and it's going to continue its fall hard. I knew it's going to pull back based on these wicks down here. And here it just reached a low there at 72, and I'm getting concerned. So I have it on the close button, right? My mouse is on the close button, but the offers are still high. This offer gets taken out, I feel better once it gets above 82. But it's not necessarily, so that 61 just kicked in, and that has me, so I'm going to pause right there for a second. So the 61 bid, but I saw this bidder here at 2,200 shares. So I knew I was in. These are 5-cent increments. Remember that access on the, so pretty much I'm down 150 right now, I would say. Well, it says 140, but I think I'm down 150. The last print was 71. But I don't see any 60s here, right? We don't see any 60s here. We still see in the 70s. So I'm now looking at this, and this is why I'm not getting out of it, is that I see the 60 bidder. Now, if this bidder gets taken out, it's boom, I'm out. So let's continue. Okay, so we're watching, and shoots right back up. Shoots right back up. All those bidders got taken out, or I should say the offers got taken out, and we're looking at 36 on the bid, 36.25 on the offer, and I'm feeling way better. Am I feeling much better? No, but I'm feeling pretty good that I'm sticking to my situation. So let's continue. 36, 36, 36.25. We're printing at 36, but it's holding. The 36 is holding to get a 36.01. And I'm saying to myself, okay, I stuck in it this long. If I get out here, I'm out for $80, $70, whatever, and I can move on with the rest of my day. I think I was up at this point like $60, $70. I'm like, you know what? We're going to give this thing the time it needs to make its move. It's climbing up. We have higher highs at this case. We're going boom, boom, boom. The bid stepped up here, and this is where I have to decide, am I going to stay in this thing? Should I get out, break even, and just be done with the trade and move on with my weekend? Here it comes, right to my entry, 45. We have 35 prints, 40 prints. I'm in the money now. Okay, so there it is. I'm in the money. I'm up 37.50 on. I took 50 off there, thinking, I'm in the money. I'm gonna take some money. Put some money in my pocket on this trade. It went against me. Look at this candle, right? That was something I don't usually do very often, but I need to learn to do that. That's the whole point. We got to give it the space it needs to make its move. So let's continue. We got through that 60 from before, 36.60, and we saw 74, but it didn't continue from there, right? So now I'm like thinking, all right, maybe it's not going to go. So what do? I see the bids drop off there, and I get out. I get completely out of this trade. Even though it's moving up a bit, I'm still fighting it. Cancel that order I did and just close. It's unfortunate because you'll see what happens in a second here. There's the 2,000 that was at that 60. He's now at 35. I'm just trying to get out of these shares. Trying to make a little bit of money. I have 14 on the close. And now it went against me. But the offers are still pretty high. And then the offers dropped off there at 30 at my entry. And now it's, just all over the place. Look at the spreads on this thing. But the offers are still pretty good. So this is another point. I thought I got out earlier. I think this is what I meant. That the offers are still above my entry. It just became so wide because, one thing, it's an IPO. Two things, there's just so much going on. But it's just one of those thinner stocks. So here we go. I'm in for 100 still. Here's my position, and I comes back up. It's just teasing me. It's a tough trader at this point. It's not really clean. I'm just not really comfortable. this is the things I go through. These are my kind of my emotions that I go through on a trade like this. And then I just bail and I take it for a $7 gainer. Okay. So I saw my sell went off at 36.38. It became a positive trade. It went against me by like 140, 150 bucks. Became a $7 winner. I saw like 40 or 50 bucks on the green if I'd sold it all. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm out $7. We'll walk away for go into the weekend and just move on. So remember, I just did all this, came back up, started forming this like doji on a 5-minute, and guess what happens? That was like 10 seconds out right now, 15 seconds out or so out of the trade that I closed out. 20. I'm sorry to keep, I want to fast forward, but I don't know exactly when it happens. And then there it is. There it is. There it is. There it is. Look at the line of these guys. Just lined up 36.50. Remember, on my entry was 36.45. Anytime you see this on this type of stock, green light for me. I don't know. It's not every time, but this means everyone's stepping up. But these are all hidden. It's kind of probably some kind of algo, but some kinds of shenanigans going on here. But watch this. Just gonna play it. 64. Just watch the prints here. We got 60. We got the 50s. Just solid support now. They're taking this thing up. They're just gonna take this thing up. They're just gonna take this thing up, aren't they? And I had just sold like 30 seconds prior, right? At 45. We're looking at 84 on the offer. Look at the prints going off. 37.20. IPOs, as they tend to do this. Look, they're at 37, right? 37.21, 37.28. So I'm out of this trade. I'm out of this trade, and it hurts more. I think it hurts more to be out of the trade, missing this move, than it does to have lost on that pullback if I just went out with a $150 loss. Again, this is what I have to think about. I need to establish that loss period where I'm going to lose trades. And I came back pretty good, but look at the spread right now. 38.87, but this support's there. This thing's not done. I'm saving it for a little bit because I want to show you what happens here. And this is what I expected it to do through 37. And, is it going to happen every time? Am I going to get stopped out? Sure. But I don't usually take a full stop on anything. I definitely don't place hard stops. I kind of know where I want to get out. But if I saw some kind of support like I did earlier, I kind of stay in it. I wasn't going to let it go past that. I was definitely going to bail. Because that's been my bread and butter right now, my risk management, keeping my risk down. If a trade goes against me, just get out and move on. But on a trade like this, I needed to accept what it was doing and let it pull back against me. And in this case, it did. And in this case, it becomes a monster. Just becomes a monster. Watch this. I'm saving it for you guys. Here we go. 37.80, 38, getting taken out big time. This is what IPOs do. End of the day, they just get going. When they get going, they get going. So I actually ran up to 39. I cut the video off there, and it was just the trade I needed to be in, but I probably should have taken it through the 37, let it do its dance at 37 instead of that 36.50. That pullback was tough. I could have gotten out there and gotten back in at 36.50, but so be it. So that's something I need to work on, which is going against me, which is stock going against me. I'm not going to let it get down here or anything like that. I usually take a stop like before the candle before, but this one just needed that space. So let's get into the next video. It's going to be a long video, like I said. We're going to go over Tesla, and I'll show you what happened with that trade. So this is Tesla from Tuesday, I believe. I don't have a date on here. I think it was Tuesday the 8th. Yeah, it's down here. Tuesday the 8th. 9:33 in the morning. I had issues with trading Tradestation sometimes on Tesla and Boeing in the real early morning, but this was the strongest stock. Look at the day before's move. These are 15-minute candles. We're talking from like almost 580 to 650, just huge monster move. And I was like, you know what? I think this thing, it's gapping down. I think this was the offering day. They put out a $5 billion offer, and it was gapping down. I'm like, but you know what? No one cares nowadays. I mean, that will change, but no one cares. They're just going to buy this thing up. They're getting a chance to buy it cheaper than 650, right? So I'm looking, my entry right now is looking at 625. We hit a low of 618.50, and I'm looking at 625 coming back up. So we hit 618. I'm looking for it to go through 625. And I've had a rough go with Tesla in the past couple months. Maybe it's because it's getting more expensive. I don't know. I just haven't been able to get the good entries. I get in for a point, I lose a point, I get in for 2 points, nothing big. So this is one of my better trades on Tesla in a long time. So let's share that with you. So I'm looking for 625 entry. And this is what Tesla can do, especially early in the morning if you catch the right move. The gap down, the fades. Everyone's thinking short. And I'm thinking, nope. I'm taking the momentum of probably the strongest stock on the planet at the time. And I'm going to get in it and go long if it takes out, not the opening price, but the whole number before the opening price, looking for it to break out above that 625.50. Now, my biggest problem here is that it kind of chops around for a second, right? So I'll pause. I'm in for 100 shares, and it didn't just go. So it doesn't just rip. It goes up there. I take 25. It's not moving. So what do? I sell 25 shares for like, I don't know, 10 cents on Tesla. So all I was really doing was reducing my position. That's the one thing I have to stop. I have to trust that it's going to go. 624, 623.50 was my stop. And, I was risking $150. So let's just see. I sell that one. I'm prepared to sell more. And good night. I'm up $330. I take some off there. So I'm at 50 shares left. 631. So that's 6 points right there. I went to 632.08. I had 7 points on that one. I started taking another 25 off. I'm up 253 on this trade. And I'm thinking it's going to go to the highs, or pretty much where it closed yesterday. Unfortunately, it did not. And I took some more shares off back through 632, I believe. I made this video kind of short because I knew the other one was going to be a little bit longer. But you could see it. I'm in for 25 and I'm up $160. I mean, that's a huge move. So 7 points on 100 shares would have been $700. I made 253 out of it. Hindsight's always 20/20. I should have stuck to my conviction on that one, knowing it was going to just kind of, crank up. It was just had the momentum of the previous day, the information. It just took out all those shorts. They just got squeezed pretty hard. And now, it's got potential to run up. I have an order out at 632.60 here for 5 shares. And this is a magical thing about 5 shares. It takes them off. That was great. I took 5 shares off. It doesn't sound like a lot, but on, 8 points, it's $40. I'm now up 292, and it's making me even more highs. So I'm just moving my 5 shares up every 2 points now. Pretty solid. I don't know. I definitely get more off. I just don't know exactly when I do. I have a chance to pull out here at 202 on top of that. So that would have been 494. It's not about the money though. It's not about the money. It's about the good trade. I'm staying in. There's no reason to get out right now. Now we're hitting a resistance point with this EMA. And the markets, I think, were down that day. The SPY was down not even a point. So it's kind of like a chop, but you can see it gap down and bounced right here. These 2 candles are the first 2 candles of the day. So it kind of gapped down and bounced. And I think I take another 5 shares off, a little premature. Just because I wanted that nice, juicy start to the day. Even though 292 is a nice start to the day, I wanted that bigger balance to get me going for the rest of the day so I can find some good trades and maybe explore some bigger trades or bigger share size, I should say. I'm going to still stick to my rules but it does give me that little bit of more room to work with. So eventually this trade kind of fizzles out. I'm going to fast forward, but if you notice there, it does make another run up. Hits 635.61. So with 15 shares, I had a chance to make $162. Just taking shares off when I can. I'm up 325 right now. It's pulling back. There's 635. There's 636 right there. Just made new highs at 636.55, 636.37. So it just shows you sometimes you just got to hold. I was in at 625. So Tesla's just cooking. When you have the hottest stock, and you have shares in it, and you have a good fill, and you're up, sometimes I need to let it go. Just don't sell any. Sell some. I have 100 shares. That first sell killed me. I mentioned that in that video the other day. That first 25 shares for 10 cents, that killed me. So that's the end. But that first sell, that could have, at this point, would have cost me, over $250 had I held that. If I held it all the way through, Tesla's a tough trader. You can get in, and actually the move after this went flushed right down. Actually went below my entry. Went below 625, actually got down to 620, and then later in the day it popped through that 635 level, and actually made new highs on the day. So you just never know what you're going to get with Tesla, and I'm proud of the trade. I made at the end. It's not the end because I'm still in with 10 shares. I think I made $410. I'm at 381 right now. But I sold it all right there. I'd be about 500. On 100 shares on a 12-point move. I think this was definitely high. 637 was definitely high at the time. But what are you going to do? So I just want to share that with you, a little motivational and educational, and things I'm going to work on is just holding more. That's one of my rules I'm really struggling with, and letting the stock work against you before it makes its move, even though it can make its move right away. If it doesn't, you got to let it work a little bit and be willing to take the stop. And that's the goal going forward. So hope you guys like this video. Make sure you share it, comment below. Let me know what you think. If you have any questions, I know it was pretty long. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. And I will be back this week for some more trading. Looking forward to it. I have this mic boom thing set up now. It's kind of interesting. It makes it easier to talk to you guys. So that's one step. I'm still looking to get that camera going. Maybe this week. Just haven't had time to really get it set up because I need new lighting and all that good stuff. So I'll be back. You guys have a good one, and I will talk to you soon.